Guys, it's Jordan from Viral Solutions, and today we're just going to go over a really quick 101 introduction of how to use Google Tag Manager. So today will just be a 101 introduction in how to use Google Tag Manager, but first I also want to talk about the benefits of how Google Tag Manager can help you and why you should even be using it in the first place. So basically it all comes down to speed, but that's broken down into two parts. One, in terms of speed, it allows you to just work more quickly. And what I mean by that is when you're putting all these different types of pieces of code and tracking and remarketing codes on your site, it can be a kind of a chore to handle that, especially when you're dealing with a larger website and lots of different tools. You might have landing page tools, all those types of things. So what this allows you to do is, instead of, let's say, you have 7 to 10 or 12 different tracking scripts that you want all on your site, you can just go ahead and use Google Tag Manager, and that basically makes it so that you only have to install one script. So what I mean by that is, and you can see this if you create a Google Tag Manager account and you come into admin, we're in our own container right now for vitalsolutions.net. You would come to admin and then come down here to install Google Tag Manager. And you can see that there's just this code to use. So they've changed recently how you implement this, but you can see paste this one as high in the head of your page as possible. Additionally, paste this code immediately after the opening body tag. And then that's it. So then really all you would have to do is just manage this script. The other way, the second part in how it helps speed, is that it keeps your tags loading asynchronously. So basically that's just a fancy term for your tracking scripts like Google Analytics, your Facebook Pixel, your code for push notifications. All those types of things can slow down the loading of your website. But when you use a tool like Google Tag Manager, those codes will load asynchronously, meaning they will not block the loading of your page. Your page will load, so all of your images and text and your content or your videos will load, but your tracking scripts won't get in the way of that load like they might be doing now. So those are two reasons why you should use Google Tag Manager. There's more other than that, but this is just a 101 introduction today. Now what I want to get into is, how do you go about setting this up when you're just initially getting in here? So basically, on a really general level, there's two things going on in Google Tag Manager. So you have tags and you have triggers. So I come here to create a new tag. And you can see that we already have some tags in here. And some of these I had to label for myself, and others are just built in already. And you'll see that in just a second what I mean by that. So I just come here to create new. And here's where I can title my tag just so that I can stay organized. But tag configuration is where you're going to come to load your tag. Now when you click on that box, you'll see all these different options come up, and these are just pre-built integrations, common use cases of Google Tag Manager that they've built a native integration with, so that's easier for you to get running. So you can see Google products, Google Analytics, Google AdWords, other types of things in here. There's other third-party services like Crazy Egg, there's Hotjar, LinkedIn, there's Twitter, and all types of stuff, Shareaholic. all types of stuff that has native integrations. Now you might be wondering, well, I don't see Facebook on here. How do I go ahead and add that code? Or there might be others. What you go and do in that case is you click on custom HTML, and then this is just going to allow you to paste your code in here. So I don't have one ready for me here, but I'll go into the other one so that you can see. And then you would also next choose a trigger. Once you've pasted this code in here, then you'd come in here and choose a trigger. So this trigger is built by default, and this is the second part of Google Tag Manager. Your trigger is basically just saying, okay, I've got your tag, now when should I fire that tag? So all pages is a pre-built trigger, you won't need to make that. So in this case, let's say it's our Facebook pixel, we'll want that to fire on every page that Google Tag Manager's on. Then we would go ahead and click save, maybe label this differently if we need to. Then that's it. I'm going to discard that. And then the last step would be, now if I went and made a change here, this publish button would turn to red, and I would just need to click that and publish my change. Right after you hit save, you're not quite done yet. So you'll want to make sure that you did that. You can always check to see if your work actually got published by coming to this versions tab, and you can see how often I've made changes to our Google Tag Manager. So really not quite often, we're just maybe testing a new tool every now and then, but for the most part, it'll stay quite the same. Now when you're dealing with a larger website, like some of our clients have where there's a lot of moving parts, this might change more often than that. But let's just dive into a couple of our tags that we have set up in here just so that you can get a good look at these. So we're going to take a look at AdWords remarketing, because that's one of those native integrations that we were talking about before. I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to show you the Facebook pixel, as that's just an HTML integration. So let's start with AdWords remarketing. You'll see here that it looks different. It doesn't just have a place for me to copy and paste a piece of code. So instead it just asks me for, hey, what's your conversion ID? Hey, what's your conversion label? Since it was a retargeting code or remarketing code, it didn't have a conversion label. And then that's it. We just set it to fire on all pages, and then we were set. As far as the Facebook pixel or these other ones, all we did was just go ahead and we copied and pasted our piece of code into here, and then we just told it to fire on all pages. And that's pretty much it. That's how you can go ahead and get started with Google Tag Manager, maybe speed up your website a little bit, and also just keep it easier in managing your tags. The other way it helps you work faster is you'll no longer need to contact your web developer or maybe even IT department, depending on who handles those types of changes. But instead, it's more quote-unquote marketer friendly, and you can just come in here, create a new tag, and that code will be on your website without even having to go into the back-end code of your website, since you already have Google Tag Manager installed there. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. Thanks for your time today.